Shalom, Yashrala. It's your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Aki, and pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here quick little lesson dealing with the mark of the beast, and then I want to read this here article, which is pretty much showing forth how they're slowly implementing this here mark of the beast system. All right, it's going to be a slow buildup. All right, it's not going to be a one day we have this system that we have like we have now, and then tomorrow we wake up and all of a sudden we got this mark of the beast system and there's no going back. All right, if you understand this here system, all right, and how the system is going to work, you already see that it's being put in place as it is now. All right, you're seeing more and more 5G commercials. You're seeing more and more cell phone carriers in different states starting to add 5G to their plans and things like that. You're seeing more and more components to the Internet of Things. All right, a lot of different things coming on board. Like I seen a commercial not too long ago with them advertising the new houses that they're starting to build. All right, and they have these new different packages to where pretty much all your houses are going to come in a different package based off of more or less being a smart house. The bare bone of the houses will basically just be pre-wired, but then they go all the way up to having what? Automatic locking and unlocking doors and, the AC and the lights and so on and so forth, until everything inside your house is pretty much connected to the internet, what they call the Internet of Things, or Internet 2.0. All right. And, if you understand this here system, so-called white man plans on having everything being tracked on this here internet system. All right. Via what? RFID chips, which is the mark of the beast. All right. And you're going to use that 5G system to be able to use as a bandwidth highway to be able to control all these things on the internet. All right. But nevertheless, this is all used for, multiple different things, whether it be for tracking you, for basically really an authentication token. All right. To be able to give you access to a lot of different things, whether it be access to stores, access to your money, access to anything. I mean, you could be in your house and let's just say, because like now they have cars now. I mean, they've had cars like this for a while, once General Motors started putting that OnStar in their car, all right, where you can go to certain dealerships or whatever, whatnot. And I know somebody like this that has a General Motors car, and if they don't pay their bill, they can just pretty much go on the internet and shut down their car to where they can't use their car at all until they pay their bill. You see what I'm saying? So more or less to say, and you can also see these things with these key fobs on these cars where you have to push button start. All right, all these different things, you just or the tap to pay in your phone, you just replace the object where the so-called chip is already in, like the phone, or your key or whatever, whatnot. You just put it in your hand, and now you have all these things into one. You don't have to have your key fob no more. You don't have to have your phone no more. You don't have to have any of these things where you can just simply swipe your hand and you'll have access to your car, your house, your bank account, whatever buildings or whatever, whatnot they give you access to pay your bills. Like in China, they have like an app now where you pretty much pay your light bills, any tickets. You can order food, order, a ride or whatever, whatnot, all based off of this here app, and pretty much every, citizen over there pretty much has to have this here app to be able to function. All right. And they also give you a social credit score. So if you want to doing things that they deem that's not good, all right, your social credit score goes down, which will ban you from what? Traveling, entering your kids into school. All right. Stop you from getting a job, stop you from getting rent or mortgage in certain places, pretty much barring your ass to being like a homeless person or a person that's going to be locked up in prison. All right. You won't have access to anything. All right. Just imagine being inside of your smart house, and you don't pay your water bill or whatever, whatnot. Now you just go over to the sink and just like now you don't pay the water bill. They turn off the water, but they had to come out, turn off the water, whatever, whatnot. Whereas nowadays they got this authentication token inside your hand, and you don't want to pay for this or that, or, you're on their so-called bad list. They can just make it so you can't access the water in the house, or certain things like that, so they have all these different authentication tokens, applications already out there. They have these guns that can't be fired unless you have a certain type of identification mark and things like that. All right. But nevertheless, this is all a part of this mark of the beast system that's coming out. All right. And the mark of the beast is what? The RFID chip. All right. Which is going to be the main tracking device, or your main, like now you have, everybody has a computer, right? Everybody's computer has a certain number, like a serial number, which is called your IP address. All right. Your certain tracking number, all right, which is specific to that one device. All right. And this is the same thing that this chip is going to basically be for you. All right. It's going to basically be a serial number for you to be able to track you and give you authentication to certain things. All right. So let's grab this in the scriptures. I'm going to read this here article real fast. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. All right. That no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right, or 666. Now going back up to the top, it says, and he calls it all. All right, so everybody's going to wind up having to take this here chip, save for the elect, the 144,000 and 1/3, they're not going to wind up taking this here chip, but everybody else is going to wind up taking this here chip. All right, and as you see now, they already having chipping parties, or different companies or whatever, whatnot, are requiring you to get this here RFID chip. All right, and that's how they're going to wind up implementing it here in America. All right, I doubt if they ever have a law to where, where it's like, oh, you must have this RFID chip or else you're going to go to jail. It'll pretty much be like how it is nowadays, how, if you really want to be a so-called functioning adult here in America in today's society, you need what? You need what? Either like an email address. Most people don't even think about how important email address is in today's society, whether or not you use email. Damn near for any and everything. Just look at your phone. Most apps on your phone, or most, like, you can't even really open up your phone like on Apple or on like Android or whatever, whether you use Android with the Google, you have to sign in with Google, or Apple with well, I guess Apple, right? You can't even use these two devices unless you have a email address. All right, and a lot of other things like signing up for bank accounts or online bank pay and all these things, you need an email account. All right, for a lot of things nowadays, you need an email account. All right, but there's no law saying you have to have an email address, by law. If you don't, you're gonna go to jail. But nevertheless, if you don't have one of these things, it's a lot harder for you to function in today's society. Just like if you don't have a phone in today's society, it's going to be very hard for you to function in this here society, or if you don't have, a form of ID, certain things like that. It's not illegal not to have these things, but, being able to function in today's society it's not really going to do you very well. You go and try to buy a damn, let's say a car or something like that. You try to go get a mortgage or a loan or any kind of thing like that, and you don't have a way of being contacted. You don't have a phone number where somebody can contact you. They're probably not going to give you this here loan. You see what I'm saying? If you don't have a form of ID, they're not going to give you this here loan. But at the same time, it's not illegal for you not to have ID here in America. All right. But in order for you to so-called participate in, just living here, you need these different things. All right. But nevertheless, this is pretty much how it's looking like it's going to be for this here, this mark of the beast system. All right, you already see how it's going on now. They're starting to make all these different things that how do I say, operate with this here RFID chip. Like I said, I seen a commercial where they're starting to sell these homes, these so-called smart homes and things like that. So let's just say hypothetically that we was going to go into the future, another 50 to 100 years, whatever, whatnot. All the regular houses will be all replaced by these new smart homes. All right, they're already trying to do that with all these cars. If you notice, you don't really see a lot of these old school hoopty cars rolling around on the streets no more. All right, a lot of these cars are being replaced, and the new plan is to have all these new cars come by law factory with backup cameras and well, basically just a backup camera. All right, because they're selling it that way because it's for so-called safety, right? But nevertheless, what they're doing is when you get this backup camera in your car, all right, it also is going to come with a screen for you to be able to see on there. Now with that screen, they're going to give you so-called luxuries like, you could pair your phone with it and all these different things, use these apps. But nevertheless, and they're going to give you GPS in there. Now with the GPS, you're going to need a tracking device inside your car to be able to pinpoint where you are in the GPS. Along with that, with these newer cars, they're putting the internet in all these cars. All right, so now your car is fully fitted out with the internet. Now has this brain that's in there, right? Now they pretty much control your car. It's just like, if you want to speed in, they can pretty much just send you a ticket in the mail, just like in the China thing, in China with that social credit system. All right, they wind up having it to where they don't really even pull you over or stop you or no shit like that. They just send you a ticket in on this here app, and you just pay it from right there. All right, but nevertheless, just imagine this in your car. Just like with certain insurance companies now, they have this safe driving check or whatever you plug into your car, and they monitor the speeds that you drive at or whatever, whatnot. But at the same time, they could be tracking you and see where you're going all the time, and see if you just like, how they say, cruising around. Some states and places, they have no cruising laws. I know certain places out on the beach out here, you can't just be riding up and down the beach, just cruising up and down the avenue. If a cop see you pass by 2 or 3 times, you able to get pulled over for a cruising ticket. All right, just just driving around, and they might stop, people from just, aimlessly driving around, when you were younger, in your teenage years or whatever, whatnot, you first get a car and you hanging out with your friends. Sometimes that's what you do. You just go ride around aimlessly because you don't really have anywhere to go, but at the same time, there's nothing really wrong with that. If these people want to waste up their gas money, that's on them. But nevertheless, the so-called white man is doing this to be able to control all these different things, all right, and see where you're going and to limit your time with certain things, all right, just like with um shit, they got these new things now where they limit a lot of your time on your smart devices or whatever, whatnot, or a lot of your little electronics. They have a little so-called timer on there where like, all right, you use this for too much time, just like with these smart meters inside your house and things like that, where they're like, all right, you're using too much electricity at this time, all right, whether or not you want to be using up, certain amount of this or that, these people are sitting here able to control this, in which if they can control this, it can get to a point of like, all right, you deserve this and you don't deserve that, all right. It's just like, they have a lot of different systems that's already like this, if you have, certain phone plans, they might tell you you're going to get a certain speed, but if you go over a certain gigabytes or whatever, whatnot, they're going to slow down your speed, and they're going to let the other people who didn't go over that speed use the speeds up to, the highest speeds possible, so they regulate certain things like that. All right. So all these things is going back to what? Control over the, mass control over the people. All right. So let me read this again. It says, he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads. And like I said, if you have all these different applications around you where you need access to it, all right, just imagine this on your phone. Look at all the different apps or whatever you have on your phone. You know what I'm saying? And just anything, and you get a brand new smartphone, right? Think about how far you can go into your damn smartphone if you don't have a email address or the internet, right? Damn near every app on your phone is running off the internet. You need some kind of internet service for that app to work, all right? And for damn near every app that you got, you need a email address to be able to download their app, all right? So if you don't have these two things, you're not going to be able to access or use your phone. Just imagine that. So if you have, this here system in place where everything is authenticated by this here chip, all right? If you don't have this here chip, you're not going to be able to access your own house, access your car, your bank account, certain stores. You can't even make a purchase or whatever, whatnot, So just like if they have a kiosk at a store or a register at a store, all right, and it says no cash, and you don't have a credit or a debit card, all right, you're not going to be able to make that transaction, no matter how important the thing is to you. If you don't have the way of making that payment, all right, then there's nothing they can do for you, all right. So it says, and this is the reason why everybody's going to have this here chip in order for you to so-called live in this here new world that we're going into, all right, these new smart cities as they call them. It says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now that word mark is going into what? The word charagma, which Apostle Tahar deemed this year the year charagma. All right, which you can see this clearly as they push. You see more and more articles going out about this here mark of the beast microchip. All right, this is what this here the mark of the beast is. This RFID chip. All right, it says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Like I said, that's, pretty much at the full extent, it's going to be like an authentication token. All right. It's going to be more than you just not being able to buy or sell. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to have access to a lot of different things. Like I said, if you can't get inside your house, you can't register your kids inside of school. You can't get a damn job. All right. All these different things. If you're not going to be able to be authenticated to be able to get inside of these places, again, imagine trying to get a damn job without identification, a social security number. You see what I'm saying? These types of things. You try to go get one, hey, try to go get a job without a social security number. All right. They're like, well, how you going to fill out your W-2 form and your taxes and all this stuff? You don't have, a social security number. We can't really give you a job. You need one of these social security numbers to be able to work. All right. They don't tell you that it's illegal not to have a social security number. They just tell you if you want to work, if you want to participate, you know what I'm saying? You're going to need a social security number. All right. So let me grab two more scriptures before I grab this. This is the book of Job. Chapter 5, verse 12. All right. It says, he disappointed the device of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is headlong. All right. So let me grab another precept to go along with that precept as well. This is Job. What is that? I think it's Job 20. Yeah. Job 20. Let me just get to the point. All right, the point here, it says verse 22, it says, Job 20 and 22, it says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eaten. He shall flee from the iron weapon. The bow of steel shall strike him through. All right. This is all talking about the so-called white man. All right. And his crafty counsel. And his crafty counsel is what? To microchip everybody. Give everybody this RFID chip. Make a one world order, a one world government. All right. Chip everybody. We just read about it. Talking about he caused all, both small and great, to receive a mark in their forehead or in their hands. All right. But nevertheless, this is his ultimate plan, is to microchip everybody. There was a couple years back where Alex Jones did this interview with what's his name, Aaron Russo, and he was saying how he met with one of these Rothschilds, and this is what the ultimate plan was. He said that they wanted to microchip everybody so that they can control everybody, you know, and if they don't like you, they could just turn your chip off. All right, this is what his ultimate plan is. All right, but what the scriptures say that the Most High is going to disappoint the devices of the crafty. All right, he's going to disrupt all these things. All right, and here is telling you when this is going to happen. It says in the fullness, Job 20 and 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come up upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eaten. So while he's so-called enjoying his system, all right there when he's about to complete his system, get everything fully implemented, and he's about to start enjoying the fruits of his so-called labor. All right, this is when the Most High is gonna rain all these missiles down on him, all these calamities and curses. This is when his system is gonna come crashing down upon him. All right, at the very end of it. So as you see now, we get into the ways of him fully implementing this here system. All right, because the system is pretty much already set. He's just got to turn everything on and push out all the new devices that's gonna be that's going to be put onto this here system. All right, all the new smart devices, all this and that. He's got the people already used to pretty much living with this RFID chip inside of them. All right, most people don't go nowhere without their damn cell phones. All right, and if you take somebody's damn cell phone, all right, inside of their damn cell phone, you can find out all the damn information about them on that cell phone. All right, you can get, for the most part, most people have their banking information on there. You might have some of your like your health cards or health identification cards on there, which can go back into your health records and things like that. All right, some people have like with these Apple products with the little health monitor and stuff like that. Man, they already got a lot of your what they call biometrics or measurements of your of life. All right, you know what I'm saying? Already got all these things, and you know they monitor you day in and day out. But nevertheless, this is what the so-called white man wants to have total control over. All right, he wants to monitor you from birth. Let me grab another precept real quick before I read this article. Isaiah 14 and 14, I think. Yep. Well, I'll just read verse 14. All right, it says Isaiah 14 and 14, it says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. All right, this is the so-called white man talking about. This is the damn devil. All right, he want to be like the Most High. So what? The Most High is the one that created all the things on the earth, the heaven and the earth and all these things, all the animals and everything like that. Created all their DNA and structured all their DNA a certain type of way and put them where he wanted to put them on the planet Earth. But what? The so-called white man is moving animals and plants all over the earth, putting them in different places, changing up their DNA, creating different species and stuff with these GMO products. All right, and all kind of different things like that. All right, the so-called the Most High knows everything about you. He can read your mind. He know what you're gonna do. He programs you to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Well, he programs you to do everything. But nevertheless, the so-called white man is trying to do the same thing. You know, this is what mind control is all about: programming you to buy certain things, this and that, having control over your mind. All right, reading your mind. All right, and just control over everything, being able to monitor you wherever you go, and you can't so-called hide yourself from them. All right, this is going to give the so-called white man all these powers if you put this RFID chip inside of you. All right, he's going to be able to. Right now, he's already controlling all the damn. You know, he's controlling the elements with the chemtrails and stuff like that, and creating superstorms and things like that. All right, how do you say? Modifying genetically modified organisms, genetically modifying different types of life form. All right, just recreating all type of different things. So he's trying to be like the Most High. All right. And ultimately, he'd have that, what is that, omnipresence, all right, where basically he'll know all things. You see what I'm saying? He'll know everything about you, and he'll always be around to be able to see all the things that you're doing if you put this RFID chip inside of you, which is the mark of the beast. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this here article real quick, and I'm gonna read this here article, which is kind of showing how this is being rolled out. All right. Give me 1 second. All right. Here's an article from RT. So like, give me 1 second. We're freezing. Come on. Give me 1 second. Bear with me for a second, brother. Phone started freezing up. Nevertheless, while I was trying to load up, I'm gonna go ahead and start reading some of this here article. But nevertheless, this is here we go. All right, it says new Big Brother India's project in sight in full force, searches social media for unpaid taxes. All right, now this is going to be talking about how they searching your social media and things like that. And hey man, if you got the spiritual eyes to see all these things, all the things that the masses are doing is being pretty much being controlled by the so-called white man. He's already controlling your mind to do these certain things, and our people, especially our people, all right, our people don't realize that we just, hey man, we like sheep being led to a slaughter, man. We keep walking right into the damn trap every single time, thinking that we coming up with some new shit, and we just being creative with some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, you know, I'm gonna bring out this here situation because this goes right into this here article. All right, right now, for some odd reason, the new trend and the new fad, I don't know if it's the new trend or the fad, it might be gone now, but there was a point in time where you had a bunch of these jakes, right, that was getting online, or whether or not they was, most of the time you see the rappers doing this, but you have, you know, regular Jake doing this as well too, where they get online and post pictures on the internet with a stack of money up to their ear, whatever, whatnot, or they always showing off their money. You see what I'm saying? And they go on the internet. You know, I know far back as hell, MySpace days. You know, I was on I used to use Facebook and MySpace when MySpace was around. You know, but nevertheless, back in those days, people would have the little the pictures of them and their money or whatever, whatnot, showing off their money. You know, giving off the illusion, yeah, I got some money, whatever, whatnot. And sometimes, you know, if you had the dope boys on there, the dope boys showing they stack or whatever, whatnot, that's black market money. But some people was actually getting jobs, you know what I'm saying, and just take their paycheck, you know what I'm saying, and make it seem like that they was stunting too. But nevertheless, as you can see, the trap being set, our people was programmed to do all these things, which is what, like you say nowadays, like another prime example, that boy 6ix9ine, the dude, the Mexican dude, 6ix9ine, so-called Mexican, Tekashi 6ix9ine, right? This dude wound up getting caught up for doing, I'm not 100% sure all the shit he got caught up doing, but nevertheless, I know just from hearing some of the little story that a lot of shit he was doing, he wound up recording the shit and putting it on the internet, all right? And this is what was happening to why he got caught up with a lot of this shit, because he was basically the one filming all this shit, you see what I'm saying? Or other people was filming all their crimes that they was doing, you know? Whether or not, you know, I don't know if it was specifically him or not, or, you know, but I see other rappers doing this too. You know, they have the music videos with them all shooting, or not shooting guns, but waving guns all into the camera, whatever, whatnot, you know, letting the so-called white man and the police know all your illegal crimes and activities and things like that, whether or not you be on the internet, doing drugs or whatever. There's a lot of people who get caught up doing stupid shit just like that on the internet. All right. They'll be giving their baby some drugs and want to go put that, on the internet or whatever on World Star, look at my baby smoking some weed or whatever, whatnot. Then they wind up going to jail for child abuse, you know? They don't realize that this here thing is not necessarily, you know, this, it's just really a tool, all right? You know what I'm saying? But it could be a tool to fix, or it could be a tool to destroy, all right? You can have a, you know, like a screwdriver to help you build up a table, or you can have you a damn sledgehammer to tear it down, all right? So, as a tool to build up that table, what the internet right now, as according to the scripture, what this here gospel is being preached into the four corners of the earth, all right, to be able to seal the elect, all right. But also at the end, on the flip side, all right, this is also being used as a sledgehammer to tear down our people by what? Putting them out there in these damn traps by doing this type of shit, putting all their business and some stupid shit on the internet, trying to get clout over some dumb shit. You just destroying the minds of people, all right, showing people more and more foul, wicked shit, making them do more and more shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they did that, I can top that. Let me go way worse. Let me wax worse with it, you know? But nevertheless, and hey, and even on top of more than all of that, this here internet is going to be used to do what? To track all these individuals, and it's going to be the backbone of this market of beast system, all right? So let me go into this here article. It says, a new computer system which will monitor the social media activity of people, all right? Notice they say social media, because the majority of these damn Americans, this is one place where, you know, I can speak for here in America, that I know that the American government, CIA and the FBI, they can get all the information up off of these damn Americans just off of their damn social media alone. All right. They don't have to send in spies and spend all this money to wiretaps and all this extra shit. All they got to do is log on to your Facebook and they'll see all your business. They'll see where you going because you're going to tag your locations or sign in or whatever the fuck it is called nowadays. You're going to sign into your little location or wherever you at. All right. You're going to put up pictures of all your friends. All right. With a lot of these new smartphones, they all got facial recognition built inside of them. So nowadays when you're taking pictures of people, and plus they've already had facial recognition that was built inside of Facebook. All right. That's why when they had the system where they say tag your friends, all right, you was teaching them who and whose face was what. They didn't have to bring you into the system like that. All right. You was letting them know who was who, tagging it to their profile, which is also just like tagging it to a social security number. All right. Because once, and it goes back to your email address. All right. Once these things go into a certain database, all right, all these different things are being stored. Hold on, I think it might be in this article where it says, no, it wasn't this article, but there was an article that was saying that, basically, what was the article says? The article said that, more or less like, bounty hunters and, law enforcement agencies, all right, are paying top dollars, to these, basically like these cell phone companies for a precise location of these people. All right. So like the so-called bounty hunters is going like you basically got a bounty on your head because why? You didn't probably skip bond or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Or you didn't show up to court. Well, basically you skipped bond. All right. You didn't make it to court. Right. So they kind of come pick your ass up. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't, you missed court or whatever, whatnot, but nevertheless, they be like, well, shit, we know that they got a cell phone on them. We know that they got, they just posted up on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Or, like these people, they be posting what club they be in, where they at the time they there. So people already know where you at. You see what I'm saying? So they don't really have to do too much searching to find out where you at because you putting up all your information on the internet for them to find it anyway. All right. But you don't realize that they actually using this as a surveillance system to watch your ass, to keep that control over you. All right. Most people, you ask most people, would you consent to the government putting multiple cameras inside your house in every room with a microphone to monitor you 24 hours a day and for you to wear a monitor? Most people wouldn't want to wear one of them damn ankle monitors around their damn ankles. When prisoners get let out of jail and shit, they on house arrest. Most Americans don't want no goddamn ankle monitor on their foot. All right. But nowadays, when you got a way more sophisticated ankle monitor inside your pocket. All right. It's called a smartphone. All right. Because it's recording you. It's not only tracking you, it's recording you. You know what I'm saying? And putting out locations. It's telling you who all you with. It's got all your information inside of there. Every time you make a transaction, your phone know about it. All right. So continuing on in the article, it says there's a new computer system which will monitor the social media activity of the people for signs that they don't pay their taxes. Go online in India on Monday. But those who like to brag about their wealth may now think twice. Now, who like to brag about their wealth? All right. The only people that like to brag about their wealth because they ain't really got shit is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Now, as you see how this whole system is really all these things is geared towards you. You just have to be able to know how to read through these articles and understand how it's being played towards you. All right. Because why? Look at it says, those who would like to brag about their wealth may think twice about it. How many so-called white people that you see that might not be that's not brainwashed by the so-called hip hop scene that's holding up stacks of money up to their ears and stuff like that. All right. Or showing off their so-called illegal activities that they doing and stuff like that. You don't really see no white people doing no shit like that. All right. Now you might have, one or two of them that be, growing up in the hood or whatever, whatnot, that's doing the same shit, trying to be like Jake or whatever, whatnot. But at the same time, this is mainly talking about Israel. All right. It says, the system dubbed Project Insight is coming into full force on April 1st, which is today, but it may be no joke for those who get flagged as tax cheats by it. Commissioned by the nation's income tax department a few years ago at a cost of $150 million, it is meant to centralize data from various sources available to the government and crunch it to identify individuals who live beyond their declared means. All right. And so, just think about that off rip, These people are telling you if you don't have every dime, like if you got a dime more than what we giving you, basically, because they giving you a job, right? This is where our people fall into traps that they don't realize how much control the so-called white man have over you. All right, you go get you a damn job from these people. You working for them. First of all, they letting you know how much you gonna get paid. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't own your own job, you don't own your own business, right? But nevertheless, they're gonna tell you how much you getting paid. And now, with this here system, if you happen to have more than let's say they tell you you're going to get paid $50,000 a year, but you wind up having like $52,000 a year. All right. They're going to be like, wait a minute. Hold on. We only gave your ass 50,000. Where you get this other 2,000 from? We got to start investigating on your ass. They crunching down really on all these different things. So, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be no way that you're going to be able to get some kind of money, or they're not going to be able to account for it. All right. Now you might think about this like, well, when would you ever really get some money where they ain't going to really account for it? All right. Just think about it on the small scale. Like when you was a child or whatever, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? For your birthday, like when I was a young child, for my birthday, my grandma would send me money for my birthday, right? I would get a car, she would send me money for my birthday. So just imagine if I'm getting a paycheck every, let's say I got an annual paycheck, right? And on my paycheck, I'm making, let's say, again, 50,000 a year, right? Now I got $50,100 because my birthday came around. I got this extra $100. That $100 is not accounted for. She put this money inside the mail, you know what I'm saying? Probably as cash or whatever, whatnot. And I just received it like that. There's no way of really tracing that I got that money inside of my pocket, you know? Or let's say on my birthday or whatever, whatnot, multiple people give me a bunch of money. So now I done got me an extra $1,000 or $5,000 or whatever, whatnot. Somebody gave me a gift of something that was worth some kind of value, and it didn't turn into cash. Now all of a sudden I got more money than what was documented from what I wound up getting as a paycheck. All right. Now is a problem. All right. Also going into what a lot of so-called black people are drug dealers, not promoting drug dealing or nothing like that. But what a lot of their money is not so-called accounted for. You know, again, you don't even have to be a drug dealer. A lot of our so-called black women, our women, they sit at home and they do what? They babysit. Well, I don't know about nowadays. I know when I was younger, this used, you know, our women used to do this a lot, you know, as their little business. They would sit at home and they would babysit the kids on the block as a job, you know. They didn't have an actual job where they wanted to go to work. They would, you know, be raising their kids at home. They would also babysit the other kids on the block, whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew, growing up, I knew a family, you know, my parents knew a family that my dad worked with. They had a bunch of kids. The wife stayed home as a stay-at-home mom or whatever, whatnot, teaching the kids with homeschooling and stuff. And we used to go over there and be babysitted by them, you know, and she used to babysit the other kids on the block too. You see what I'm saying? This was a job for the females back in the day, or doing hair on the porch, you know. They be, you know, doing little weave-ins, sew-ins or whatever, whatnot, or, you know, doing hair on in the projects or whatever, whatnot, you know. But these are all undocumented forms of income, all right? And so what? This is all aimed at basically Jake, trying to stop Jake from eating, all right? You know, we always the first fired and the last hired. So what? Jake sometime got to go out there and get it on his own. Whether or not Jake might just want to be like, yo, man, hey, y'all got some trash y'all want us to pick up, or y'all got a yard y'all want us to cut or whatever, whatnot. Whatever we can do to try to make a buck, we'll try to do that. But they saying, look, if you're not going through our system and we can't document it, you shouldn't have that money. All right. So let me keep reading. It says the system dub Project Insight is coming into full force. I just read that. Hang on. Going down, it says the government touts the system as a highly complicated tool using machines learning and big data analysts to create something called 360-degree profile. Now, going deeper into that, this ain't just talking about taxpayers. This is going into all kind of different shit. They looking at all your stuff. All right. Where do they get all this data from? You the one giving them all this data by putting all your information basically into your smartphone and stuff. All they got to do is monitor your smartphone. And from that, again, they can track wherever you're going, all your purchases, because you more than likely have a bank account tied inside of your phone some kind of way. All right. And all these different things. All right. It says, the government touts the system as a highly complicated tool using machine learning. All right. And the machine learning is based off of what you inputting the information. Every time you upload a new picture on the internet to Facebook or Instagram or whatever, whatnot. All right. You just basically updating your profile picture. Like they say, your profile picture. All right. They getting a new up-to-date mugshot of your ass, basically. All right. Facial recognition and body dimensions and all these different things. So if they need to be able to track you with a more up-to-date system, you've already updated the most recent picture on profile. You know, back in the days, they got your fingerprints and your mugshot every time your ass got arrested, you know. So if you got arrested, let's say once in 1990, then you got arrested again in or let's say you got arrested in 1990 and you got arrested here in 2019, you know, there's a big gap in the time frame. All right. But never, and you could look completely different. You know, you could have had long hair back then, now you got short hair, or vice versa, you know, or you could have had some kind of you know, you could have been a really skinny person, become a really fat person, or vice versa. Or you could have gotten into a horrible car accident that got your face all misconstrued or screwed up. So now you look completely different. You see what I'm saying? But they wouldn't know how you would look because time has changed and you ain't been inside the system. But nowadays, when you got this Facebook and stuff, every day you uploading all these new images, you got an up-to-date image. Every time you get a new friend, okay, we got another connection that we can go and interrogate about this person that we know about. All right, we can monitor this here person. And you putting on there where you work at and all these different things. So they know, you know, where there was a little show that I was watching one time. I don't know what the hell it was, but there was this show, and it was like, it might even have been a commercial, but it was like, these women thought that they was going to go see a psychic, right? And they sat down at this little fake ass psychic booth and everything like that. And the dude was so-called telling this woman about her life. Oh, you just recently got married. Oh, you like this. Oh, you might have went to this and that. And the woman was all freaked out. Oh shit, you a real psychic. You know a whole lot about me. How do you know about this? Nobody knows about this. This just happened today. You know what I'm saying? They thought it was a real psychic, and they thought it was so amazed. And they dropped down the curtain, and come to find out behind the curtain, it was a bunch of people on a bunch of different computer screens just digging into this here person's Facebook and other people behind them. And it was just talking through a microphone into the man's earpiece, letting him know all the information about the girl. So all this information that she thought that only a psychic would know about her is all secret stuff, is all public information that's on the internet. All right. How much more that when the government has control over all these things. All right. So it says the government touts a system that's highly complicated as a highly complicated tool using machine learning and big data analysts to create something called a 360-degree profile of each taxpayer, meaning everybody that's damn near of working age. Once your ass become of working age and you got a job, you become a taxpayer. All right. Instagram pics designed to spark envy. Strike that. Share the joy of life and inspire followers are only part of what is meant to be analyzed. Like I said, when you read deeper into that, who they really targeting? Jake, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because they saying it ain't no way that this nigga's supposed to be having this kind of money where he could just be sitting over here bragging and boasting on us and shitting on us with a stack of money up to our ear, you know, or just throwing money like it ain't nothing. Like all that stuff Mayweather be doing, you know, that stuff really get to Esau to the point to where he get mad about the shit like that. You know, just go back to Black Wall Street, all right? You had the so-called whites that was living on the outskirts of that. It was all poor, whatever, whatnot. They seen the mansions and all the richness that the so-called Negroes was having in Black Wall Street. They got jealous, went inside, they firebombed them and raided all their shit, stole all their shit, and it just bombed the whole area, burned it down to the ground. They couldn't take Jake living like that. They got tired of so-called Jake stunting on them. And really, at that point in time, Jake wasn't even stunting on them. They had their own town. Esau had his own town, but he had to keep looking over the hills at their glorious city. All right, just like how we, right now, you might work in a downtown area or have to drive through the nice white people neighborhood just to get to the hood, you know, in the slums where you live at. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, man, these some nice neighborhoods or whatever, whatnot. I wouldn't mind living over here. You see what I'm saying? Esau was the same way, but then he got real jealous and tried to start taking it from us. All right. Same thing today, man. You know, Jake already putting all their business out there in the forefront nowadays, trying to get some recognition or whatever, whatnot. But nevertheless, they don't realize this is a trap that they walking right into. All right. It says, let me go back. It says Instagram pics designed to spark envy. Strike that. Share the joy of life and inspire followers are only part of what is meant to be analyzed. The system is part of a wider government effort to eradicate so-called black money. Now, funny today we use the word black money, right? Now, they might be saying that, oh, this means like from the black market or illegal or uncounted so-called money. But really, you know what it's going into, so-called Jake money, all right? Because the so-called white man has all kind of black money. You know, when you go into what when you had the recession and shit, when the government bailout happened, all of that shit was black money, all right? Because the company started failing because why? The companies was failing because the interest rate started going up, so the people couldn't afford the shit that they was paying for, so the people couldn't pay their bills. So if the people couldn't pay the bills back to the companies wasn't bringing in the money, so therefore the companies was taking losses. So, but their way of fixing that was to give the paychecks to the companies. All right. So if the companies is in debt, let's say you owe a company $100, right? You ain't got the money. So now the company is $100 in debt because you can't pay the company the $100, right? Now you pay this company $100. Somebody else from an outside source paid the company $100 to make them whole again. Well, now the company's whole again because they got the $100 that you owed them, but yet you still is in possession. You still got possession of whatever you still got and still got to make that payment, which you couldn't make it last month. And you can't make it this month. So now a month after this bank being set straight with the $100 that you owe them, they back $100 in the debt again the very next month. So you're not really solving no problem. All right. You should have taken care of the people who was already broken and was in these fucked up ass loans. All right. And you pay them off. They can wind up paying all their bills and getting out of all of that. Then, you know what I'm saying? Everything would have been fixed, but that wasn't the plan to begin with. All right. They was just stealing a whole bunch of money, more or less to say. All right. But what they don't say anything about that. You hear about these so-called rich white people who take, and invest money overseas and offshore. They got their offshore banking accounts and all these type of things like that. Millions, if not trillions of dollars. Bernie Madoff and all these type of people. And this is huge money. All right. Jake is holding up their whole they hold savings up to their ear. Just imagine that. They can hold their whole life savings up to their ear, which in some cases is quite a bit of money compared to other people. But to the type of money that Bernie Madoff made off with, you can't even hold that shit. That shit is like a whole house full of money. All right. And where you had, people's retirement plans that was taken. All right. So it's nothing comparably to what so-called black people are doing in this little bit of money that they playing with. All right. So-called black people ain't never really seen no real money. Black people think that if they got 50,000 or 100,000 that they rich. All right. Not knowing that that ain't really no money. All right. It says the system is a part of a wider government effort to eradicate so-called black money from the economy and to boost tax collection. India is estimated to have over 1.35 billion people now, but less than 70 million taxpayers filed tax returns last year. The figure includes both individuals and entities and is actually a big boost from 38 million in 2014 when the ongoing effort was launched. All right. It says Project Insight 360-degree profiling, which uses big data analytics and AI to identify non-filers of income tax. Note, India has one of the lowest income tax to GDP ratio in the world. All right. It says the comparative small number is explained by India's tax laws, which exempt people with income lower than a certain limit. But evasion through underreporting or not reporting taxable income is an old and serious problem. An amnesty scheme offered by a government in 2016 brought a report of 9.5 billion into Treasury. All right. Oh, look at this. It says big tech plus Big Brother privatized social credit score system coming to U.S. sooner than we think. That's like that Chinese system I was telling you about. All right. How much, and that's the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast system, going to be implemented here. All right. It says how much money the insights gathered by the new social media system will manage to net is yet to be seen. New Delhi says it is following in its footsteps of countries like Great Britain, which launched a similar computer system called Connect decades ago. It helped generate an additional tax revenue amounting up to 37 times its 100 million cost over the first 5 years of operating, according to UK's tax collection agency. On the other hand, India's system was first announced in July 2016 and was supposed to go operational in May 2017. Being almost 2 years behind schedule doesn't look very encouraging. So maybe posting that photo of your new Maserati Alfieri and complaining that you barely have time to try it out between your trips to Maldives and Ibiza may not bring a stern face tax officials to your door just yet. All right. But nevertheless, a couple things I wanted to point out in here. You can clearly see how this is being aimed and targeted at Jake. All right. Just like when we go in the scriptures talking about the mark of the beast. All right. The scriptures was written for the Israelites. All right. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. So those, talking about not taking the mark of the beast, that was geared towards us. All right. So-called white man or these Edomites take the RFID chip. It's not going to be a difference for him. He going to wind up, being exterminated anyway. That's not going to make a difference. That was commanded to us. But as you can see, some of the words that was used in this here article, and certain the innuendos that was used in here, so-called black money, people bragging and boasting on Instagram with their money up to their ears and things like that. It's all being aimed at Jake. All right. And so as you can see with these systems, all these things is being aimed at the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the Israelites. All right. And also you can see this mark of the beast system being implemented in your face today. All right. So with that, Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying into the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakak Radash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you all can push this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong and shalom.